What's going on, guys? It's Project Prepper 42, and today I want to show you some of the improvements and the updated Get Home bag that I've been working on. Originally, this was my Get Home bag. It's a really small bag. It just has a shoulder sling, and I liked it, but it wasn't quite big enough for a Get Home bag. I needed the extra room that this bag just didn't have, and as a bug out bag, I needed a bigger bug out bag. So I moved everything from my Get Home bag to my bug out bag and went and bought a new bug out bag, and I'll go over that in my next video and show you some things that I've done with that. But I just switched everything around so that now I really like this bag. I think it fits really good as a Get Home bag. Your bug out bag is designed to last you for a while. Your Get Home bag is designed to get you from point A to home. If you're at work, if you're out somewhere and you need to get home, this bag has everything in it to help you get there. And I took this bag out about a month or so ago and took it out in the woods and put it to the test. Because if I could do okay with this bag, my bug out bag is not going to have a problem, and I'm about to put my bug out bag to the test as well. But this is a much smaller version of it. There are a few things that I do want to cover in this video to help you as you design yours, or maybe you might have had the same kind of thing that I did, and I found that if you take small steps to improve your bag just a little bit, when time comes, it's really going to help you out in the long run. The first thing that I did is, and this came after the fact, was that I took the paracord and made sections out of it. It's just clipped onto the side, but normally I have it in this pack. When I was trying to tie down things or build my shelter, or, whatever the situation was, I seemed to be getting into a lot of paracord. And my problem is this is the backup cord that I actually did carry. This is how all my paracord was. So I would take it out and measure, and then tie off what I needed, and found myself really going through paracord that it was a waste of time, and I really wasted a lot of paracord. So this is the extra that I have. But what I did was I went on and cut a bunch of sections out, about, like I said, 8-10 foot long, so that you're not having to constantly try to tie things down and measure your paracord, and it's a lot of time, and it's a lot of frustration when you cut it too short, or something doesn't work out right. And I found that when I put this bag to the test, I found that you use a lot of paracord when you're tying things down, setting up your shelter. So putting some into sections already cut to be used really will help you out in the long run. And like I said, this is the extra paracord that I have not cut up yet. I'll probably just leave this as is, just in case. But I have a lot of paracord right here. Right on the top is my first aid kit. This was one of the pre-made classes, and I did a video on this earlier, so if you want to, you can go check it out. But I kind of added a few things to this kit. This was pretty good as it was, but obviously it needed a few extra things, so I put the medication in here and stuff like that I knew that I would need. The second thing, this right here is like my survivor kits. I did a video on this SOL box. It's got the signal mirror, it's got all the tools inside of here, it's got the little striker, it's got the knife and the flashlight, compass, and inside of here it's got the fishing kit, fire starters, alcohol pads, stuff like that. I keep that up here because I have used this little pocket knife quite often, because it does have the flashlight on the outside of the box. I do like this little SOL kit, so I keep it right in here in this kit. And then in this one, I have the Gerber survival bag, and like I said, and here's pretty much kind of the same thing. I got a bandana, a couple of pocket knives, ferro rod, Bic lighter, whistle, stuff like that, some matches, bandana, all this kind of stuff I've put together in this little pouch here, so that if I need something that like small fire kit or something, I know what pouch that it's in. In this back section, you're going to see a lot that everything's in its own little pouches. So that way I know exactly where everything is. If I'm looking for a knife, I'll reach in here and grab this because I have a bunch of smaller knives in here. Like I said, this box has a knife to it. The back kit has a couple of knives in there. So this is kind of like my survivor kit, if you will. So that's in the back as well. This is my fire kit. I have a bandana right here, small ferro rod right here, some matches, more matches, some lint. Back here is my main little fire kit. This is one of the waterproof kits. I have some matches, some Strike Anywhere matches, lighter, and some of the Zip fire starters. I really like these. You can get these at Walmart for a couple of dollars for like, I don't know how many it was, 15, 20, something like that. They work really well. All you have to do is light the paper on fire and it takes off, and the little block in there itself burns for quite some time. So I really do like these. I need to get a few more. As you can tell, I did use a lot of them up. So this is my fire kit. So anything, it really did seem to help to know where everything was, and everything had its own little place. So when I was trying to build the shelter, as soon as I got done with the shelter, I knew I needed to start a fire. I didn't have to dig through anything. I knew what pouch this was. I went and got it and pulled it out, and everything was right there as needed. This bag this is my shelter bag. Inside of here, I have a tarp, a heavy-duty emergency blanket, and this is one of the real thick ones. And I seen this really did work well. It's actually quite surprising how good this worked to reflect the heat back to me. I really did like that. I had a tube tent and some plastic in here. And like I said, I put everything into its own little packs so that when I'm trying to get things organized, it really did help to know exactly where everything was. And when I was pulling stuff out of my bag, things weren't falling out, going everywhere, and spilling everywhere. Everything was in these little packs and sacks like this that had everything in it that I needed to build a shelter, or start a fire, or anything like that. So don't fall. Down here, I have one of the Gerber saws. You just twist it. I have a small radio that I didn't need it, but in an emergency situation when you're trying to get home, you're going to leave your vehicle, and the only way that you can keep in touch is through radio, and that's why I have that there. All right, the next pouch, I have my flashlight, and it's got different settings: high, low, strobe, and then this is the red light, and then it blinks, and then if you hold it down, there is the SOS. I have some extra tinfoil that I've just folded up and laid on the top, because this actually was quite handy, because when I was putting this bag together a couple of nights ago, it had rained and things were still damp, so I was able to start a fire on this and move everything over. So have some spare aluminum foil tucked in here or in your fire kit or somewhere like that, because you actually can use aluminum foil a lot in your bag. Have a few of these get ready bars. Here's another one. And here's a little bit of extra fire tinder that I have stuck down in here. This is a small little notepad, extra bandana. This is a collapsible water bag. I used a small metal canteen that I kept my water in, and I tried different things, made some different types of tea, and even though I didn't need to because I had my own water bottles in here, I did go through the whole thing and boiled the water first and put I tested everything in here, and like I said, it was more hectic than what you would think, even though it wasn't a real situation. When you're trying to make sure you have your firewood for the night, your shelter built exactly how you need it, your time is limited, because I think I started and I had several hours still of daylight when I was doing this, but I kept constantly thinking, okay, what's going to get dark soon? I still got to get this and got to get this done. So anything small that you can go ahead and do to your bag when a real emergency happens, it's going to be even more stressful than it is. And the small steps like this that you can take will really help you in the long run. And here I have my main knife for this bag. I have a camp stove, which the stove, I really like it, but again, I found that I went through a lot of these little fuel cubes that come with it. It says that there's 8 of them, and to boil water, cook my noodles and everything that I had packed in here, I went through a lot of those little cubes. It worked really well, but again, just because mentally you know what's in here doesn't necessarily mean it's going to get you through. So, like I said, I really do like this little camp stove, but I didn't really put it to the test when I first got it, so I'm really glad that I did now. So, like I said, I think this was about $4 or $5. So I went out and got a couple of them just for the cubes, because I couldn't find them selling as they are. So a couple bucks for extra cubes, it was really worth it. And also I have a compass in here as well. This is my everyday carry kit that I keep with me. This goes everywhere with me. So if I'm in the car, this will stay in my get home bag, but if I'm at home, I'll put it in my bug out bag. But for this video, I did stick it in here, and I did a video on this earlier, so I won't go through all the contents in here. But this is a Maxpedition pouch, and it has a couple of knives, some multi-tools, fingernail clippers, flashlight, pens, bandana, stuff like that I will use in an everyday situation. These are not things that I might need. Like, there's not any kind of first aid stuff in here. This is just some knives, some multi-tools, and stuff like that I have found that I use quite often. So I have this down in the bottom pack, and the last is a pair of wool socks and some ammo down there as well. Like I said, I really do. I was really glad I did put this bag to the test, because when I was going over some of the things, I thought mentally that I knew where everything was, which I did. I knew that everything was going to work, which it also did. But there were some things that could have made it a little bit less stressful if I would have tried it and did everything in the first place. So I am glad that I now know, and so now I can put my bug out bag to the test and go through some of that. So but in my next video, I'll go over my bug out bag, show the updated version of that. But I hope you did like the video. I hope that it did give you some ideas for yours. If you liked it, hit the like button, leave a comment, tell me what you think. If there's some of the things that you have done that improved your get home bag, or tell me some of the things that if you like what I did, or if you think that something could be done a little differently, let me know, because I'm always up for suggestions and changing things. But anyways, thank you again for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, putting out weekly videos. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a good one. We'll see you on the next one.